into it pretty young, and then I made FAKKU, and it got really big really fast. I actually remember one of the things that I really admire about Danny is that he went from like nothing all the way. We weren't supposed to tell anyone about that.
I'm sure that my Skype camera turned off at that time.
I think you have a really amazing story of how you ended up in Japan doing what you're doing. So I think.
Oh no. Just about yourself.
Oh well, I just like porn. So. It's been a wild ride the past few years. I made it when I was in college. I was working in a supermarket, and my job was to just stack cucumbers all day. It's a very valid job, and it's a very mindless activity. So I would just, I was just lost in thought. There's really good hentai websites out there. That was literally what I was thinking while stacking cucumbers.
Cucumbers,
yeah.
Are they long?
They were long. Yes, they were quite American cucumbers, right?
US finger size, right?
Yeah, ultra size. So I don't know. I thought there's no place where someone in America can really go and get a good experience of this kind of material. So I made it, and now it's very big, and we're working with lots of Japanese companies, lots of American companies to bring this over here. And I couldn't be more lucky to have met all the people I've met, everyone here, everyone all around the world. So thank you guys. I want to hear about you.
Me too. So, I'm going to confess. I used to run a website like FAKKU.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
So wait, you ran an adult website?
It wasn't adult. So I ran a website called, it's called Melon Peach. And it had a really cool logo. So melons were...
I remember those.
Melons. And peach was peach. And the logo was also quite nice actually. So it's offline right now because I wanted to concentrate in a different area basically. So this website was I should be talking about this as well.
It's okay. Are you guys going to keep it a secret?
We're going to keep it a secret.
Right.
Again, just like started off very small and became like very big over a very short span of time. And I think one of the reasons why these websites do well is because of the basic human needs for shelter, food, and to reproduce, basically. And so that's what humans crave for. If you're hungry, you really seek food, right? If you need your desire to reproduce, you go to internet, right? So I think that's one of the reasons why it works. And at that time, we used the Amazon API. So the Amazon API is a way that Amazon gives you all their product data to a developer, and the developer can use that data any way they want to make money. And so basically, somebody would upload a photo of an idol, probably a magazine scan, and type in their name. Let's say Shinozaki Ai. Okay? And so basically, it's got her photo and her name. And what I did was I took this name automatically and I sent that off to Amazon using the API. And then all her products, these and photos, would appear underneath the photo, basically. And so basically what was happening was users were generating content for other fellow folks who wanted to reproduce. And it was also generating product listings as well. And so that was one of the ways which I started to monetize from the internet, basically.
And that's awesome because that supports the originals too, because the native
yes.
product's the right thing.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
And another thing was that website actually got me, one of the reasons why it got me a job at Microsoft. So I actually talked about it during my interview. So I was a CGM product manager. So CGM stands for Consumer Generated Media. That's right. Consumer Generated Media. So that was very big at the time. So they use this term a lot, whereby users, they generate content basically. They don't really use this term so much now because like Twitter and Facebook is so popular, but they used it a lot back then. And so I was being interviewed for that position, and I showed this website as an example of how I was using consumer-generated media to monetize. And after 2 interviews I got there, so usually the Microsoft interview is like quite long, but I guess the guy interviewing me, he was very indexes on the whole internet and index archives. So if you type in FAKKU, you'll probably see what your website looked like a long time ago. So if you type in Men on the Beach, you'll be able to like see what you look like a long time ago. So this was back in 2004.
I remember seeing it actually. It's funny. Do you remember when we did the April Fool's joke where you bought FAKKU?
Oh yeah.
All the time people ask me about that. They say, "Hey, you bought FAKKU?"
Yeah. I don't know. He only gives my money. He's going to make us pay for our reproduction. So I think one of the great things that like Jake was saying, and what I think is very important is that we just like share what we like doing, and then we get to like meet lots of new people like yourselves as well. So
yeah, I think that's easily one of the best things that to come out of this. The people that we've met and the people that have met as a result of our website. I think that's probably the best thing to come out of it.
Yeah. Because our ideals are like so similar. We get to like mix conscious fan leaders and FAKKU leaders together as well.
So you guys have similar interests, I'm guessing? They don't want to admit it.
Okay. So, shall we just like have a look to see who's familiar with who's familiar with what I do? Oh, listen. Okay. Who's familiar with what Jake does?
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, you win.
I had the hunt pillow. I think that's for you. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, so for folks who don't know what I do, I mean, I've got a presentation, but I don't really want to go for it because it's like really long. I make Japanese culture more accessible to the world. I've got something here, just like really skim through it, like really quick. So this is just the deck which I use for my presentation. What time is checking out time? What time do we need to leave this building?
6.
5?
No, it's 6, isn't it?
5:50.
5:50?
Oh, wow.
Who's afterwards?
Is the Super Art by Art Showdown.
Okay. Well, I think it's more of us. So just beat them up or something.
Is that a horse with panties on his head? Can you just stand up and bow to everyone? Stand up. Come on, get up.
So I'm going to just skip through some of the irrelevant stuff. From an IT field, website manager, Amazon, and so on and so on. Currently, I manage the Culture Japan brand, and recently, the Japanese government has appointed me as a member of this Creative Industries Internationalization Committee, whereby I get together with the top creative folks in Japan to work with the Japanese government to decide how we're going to make it easy to distribute creative content around the world.
That's pretty awesome.
So that's what we do, basically, to share Japanese culture and make it more accessible. We've got a few things here. We do that through TV. We've got 2 TV shows, Japan Mode and Culture Japan. We do web production, and so we make websites for Kanami, and we use the same technology to run our own stuff. And we make products like Moi Kanji and Moi Kana to help people learn Japanese. And Mira-chan, she helps us. So let me just skip through some of this. We're working on a 13-part anime series.
Oh wait, that's the new girl.
She's in her before. She's also big eyes. Her name is Kisuna Yumino. That's a new character. And there's another new character over here.
Oh, black tie high stockings.
So for a while, we didn't think of their names for a very long time, so we had to name the files. And for a while, we had to call her White. Here are some. This is one of the bad guys in the story called the Genjutsu. It's many different forms, and it's some scenario photos, images, and it's being written by the same person who wrote all of these titles. Zoom through these, a few Japanese learning products to help you learn Japanese called Hirakana. Then we came up with Moi Kanji to help you learn Kanji. I like this one. It's an illustration, it's very big. So, quickly skip through these, a few web apps, collaboration stuff, like Kinokuniya. Their members card has become Mira-chan as well. Mendy. Do you have volume? No. Can we turn on the volume? Okay, good. So name we could dance with Mirai. And yes, I was hoping. Yes. Health material on FAKKU for girls, for like robots, right? Folks like reproduce with robots.
If you like girls, if you like robots, if you like monsters, if you like just about anything.
Okay, so we've got something for folks who like robots. Robots.
Aha.
Right. So we decided to make our own. I guess a bit small to reproduce with, but yeah, kind of small. So we decided to make our own dolls in 3D like this, and these various different 3D packages. Oh yeah, I'm showing all the FAKKU related images actually, and some more body parts in there, and. I guess we could put these up as well, right? We can put these up on FAKKU, right?
Yes.
Well, what wax is like a new form of
entertainment.
And so all of these parts are electroplated, and once they're electroplated, you come up with the mold. So for some reason, all these photos are pictures of off-fire. I could have chosen the latest one, but it's just
how it ended up.
And so it's a centrifugal machine, spins it round, and then we get the dolls. And then inside is a robot. Yep.
Wow.
So this is it over here. So we started this off as April Fools. We said, okay, let's announce it, and inside it's going to be like a Terminator. And then those CG renderings, they attracted lots of attention from robotics engineers in Japan. We got together with them and said, okay, let's make it. And then we came up with this. So it's the world's first 3D printed Android controlled robotic doll. It's got Bluetooth installed. You can download Out of Motions and voices from Google Play. It's got idle mode where it sits on your desk and it swings around with legs and like looks around the room. It's like really good. So you never need to be like runnery anymore. Has a 2-power mode on the way. So I want you to be able to like, power her when you're outside with like a mobile battery. But the voltage is not powerful enough to like do like I don't know, high kicks or anything like that.
You thought it would like wake you up in the morning, like it
Could.
wakes up and goes,
Wake
wake up! You're late for work.
And we decided to go a step further, and not just a robot, but one that tells you, when you get your Facebook, Twitter, mail notifications as well. So, and this is her over here. That's what she looks like outside. And yeah, I'm a fan of her. I admit it. And so she's got nice of it. But yeah, this has, and each 24 servo motors, and each servo motor has its own control board like this. That's the Eon frame that controls the whole unit, and this is what she's looking like so far. So we've got a video of her moving, but this is the first ever motion test. So it looks a little bit rough. She's got like big gaps in her elbows, and she looks very stiff. But now we have the human robotics engineer working on making her look more human. Wave. Alright, looks a bit unnatural now. So we're going to fix it.
乾いてない。臭い臭いっていう動きですね。これ納得。臭いの時は納得。これ何の動きなのかわかんないですけど。こんな感じですか。はい、こんな感じです。これ。
Yeah, so that was our first ever motion test, just to see if like all the servo motors actually move inside, and it moves around quite well. So we aim to have that out earlier on next year. So there's going to be two versions, one with robotics and one with like a standard frame. The standard frame version will be out in June.
So I might get an early preview of that, right?
Of course.
So you also do Culture Japan, right?
Yeah, so Culture Japan is it's basically a brand which we operate under. And so again, it's those TV shows, it's website, it's products, and so on.
Where can, I know that you have it streaming in the United States, but I don't know if anyone knows.
Oh yeah, so well, it's on Crunchyroll, but it's also on YouTube as well. It's all up on YouTube, and it used to be playing on Mnet and Mnet channel as well.
So I've watched it all and it's awesome, so everyone should check it out.
And he's on it as well from time to time.
I am. It's pretty cool. On Japanese TV. I use all the time. I'm like, I got to get Japanese TV once.
Yeah.
So it's a really good look into parts of Japan. Like you go to like a high school, and you go to like a ninja village. Right?
Yeah.
You do a bunch of really cool things. So definitely check it out.
So you've been over to Japan a few times, right? I mean,
I have.
What have you been going over for?
What kind of question is that?
Oh.
So I go to, last time I went to Japan, we actually got dinner and he took me out to eat at a really nice little restaurant near his house. It was very cool. He showed me all the Nindroids and everything. Yeah, he's a partner. Very, very cool. But usually I go over there and I just walk around Akiba. Like, you guys know how we all have this like really high image of how awesome Japan is? Like oh, the Holy Land. It's exactly like that. Like you walk down the street, it's like hentai, anime, video games, hentai, idol, video games, idol, arcade, pizza place. Actually, no pizza place, but there's lots of coffee, so I'm very happy. So Japan's awesome, and I can't get enough of going over there.
And when are you going over next?
Probably at the end of September.
Oh wow.
I want to do it like right after it's really hot, right
Yeah.
before it gets cold, so I'm thinking that's a good. Is that a good
Yeah,
time?
it still can kind of be hot. I mean, there's a point in September where it suddenly gets quite cool out. But I think if you go at the beginning of September, it still can be quite hot actually.
The first time I went in the beginning of September, it was super hot, and then this most recent time I went for Winter Comiket, and it was super cold. So I kind of want to do the middle ground next time.
Yeah. So like spring is nice with all the sakura trees and
I got to see Tokyo Sky Tree and all that.
Oh, you went up?
Yep.
All right. Okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So let's have a look at time. Just 7:33. So we got another 20 minutes right now. Is that right? Okay. So I think there's some folks who want to do some signing photos and stuff. But I don't know if we can get through everyone in 20 minutes.
I don't think we can.
So yeah. So I think
the anime fight is happening now.
Yeah. So I'm going to go off to Kinokuniya right after this. So we have like a Culture Japan night at the Kinokuniya store in Tokyo, and just like these folks, they all like retweeted it, and they said it actually sounds better. So when they do that, they draw all the details basically. But due to the Japanese laws, they censor it afterwards. So the only people who really get to enjoy it are people who are drawing it. A very interesting thing about folks who draw it, would you? So most of the hentai that you see like on FAKKU or on the internet or like in Edo game, what percentage of you think is men drawing? Is it? Who's drawing the hentai? So who's drawing the hentai? Is it a man or woman? Who thinks it's man?
Not only drawing, but writing.
All right. And the rest of you think it's a woman drawing the hentai, is that correct? Yeah, it's actually, I was surprised at the time as well, but most of the hentai, especially in eroge, are actually drawn by women.
Yeah. Doesn't that make it so much more awesome? So yeah, it was really cool when I went to Comic-Con. It's crazy. Comic-Con is crazy. There's like 500,000 people, like everyone's bumping into each other, and you actually got to like walk right up to the artist and the author and like purchase a book from them. I remember I think it was one of the artists that I really like. I walked up and it was like this super old Japanese guy dressed up like Solid Snake. I just went up and I'm like, thank you. He's like, it felt pretty awesome. So why does that law exist? Like,
yeah, I haven't really looked into that, but I heard that for hentai videos, there's actually a room of old men who actually check to see if it's properly censored. So as their vision gets worse, that's why the sensor lens are getting like smaller. Probably, yeah. But yeah, it's something I should like look up and find out exactly what I'm doing.
Good question.
Which we didn't answer. Anyway. All right.
On your way. I think Mirai is probably actually Daniel.
Yeah. So the thing is with
Mirai is known around the world, you know.
Yeah. The thing is with Mirai is that most of the illustrators who draw her are from eroge, and when I asked the artist to draw her, I asked them to draw the naked layer. And so they draw the naked layer, and then they draw on top of different layers of her uniforms. So her summer uniform, her winter uniform, solar uniform, and so on. So that makes it easy for them to add more uniforms. Also, that's actually my excuse.
You should see the wallpaper on his desktop. It's very
So, like a lot of the eroge artists, they're very keen on having Mirai there all. But, and I do care about the health of my fellow comrades. But at the moment, what we're really trying to do is like grow Mirai-chan into an international brand.
Yeah.
Like Hello Kitty or something. So I'm like working with like Asia, Box, Kinokuniya, the Japanese companies, or Lawson, and having an Edo Mirai like there all would probably make those deals very difficult.
Yes. So you want to keep it so that you want to see what's underneath, but you never actually get it. But that said, we should totally do a Momoka. All right, the FAKKU mascot. Robot. She's just like.
You think you'll ever get one of the robotic dolls where the breast could say
speak.
or smaller depending on, how much you want them?
So like say,
Danny, how do you feel about that?
hate. like, so, yeah, it would be a good idea. But at the moment they're a little bit too big for a t-shirt, because I want her to like wear our t-shirts for branding as well. So we're working on like a smaller pair, but they will be interchangeable.
They can pop it up and pop on.
That's right.
Yeah, so you're not going to have one where you can actually have them get bigger by remote.
Maybe the year after next.
It's sounding an awful lot like a display.
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Good guy. Yeah. So one of the things is so FAKKU actually, so Jake actually inspired me. Like every time I came to a con, like he was, in the exhibitor hall every year, selling all those like cool t-shirts that do, like a hentai t-shirt or something like that. And I would always look at your booth and think, it'd be great to have my own booth. And so Jake was definitely one of the folks who has inspired me to do this. And so this is my first booth I've had in the US, and so we sold out pretty much everything, and I was very surprised. I wasn't too sure what the American market was like. So we only really started selling stuff last November in Singapore, and I had like no idea whether people would really buy our own Mirai Chinese stuff. So before that was all licensed Mirai Chinese stuff, like Figma and Name. But I was very happy that lots of people would like buy our stuff directly. And so we've been in Asia a lot and been selling lots in Asia. So this is our first time in the US, and we've done very well. And so after the first day where we sold half of our stuff, we basically knew that we just had to travel around the US to go to more cons over there.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So,
any plans here?
So I'm actually looking up what sort of cons we need to go to. I know that you go to Hawaii cons, is that right?
Hawaii Con in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Beautiful, definitely go.
Yeah, so definitely want to check that out. But yeah, definitely we'll be making our products more available to more areas of the US.
That's awesome. Congrats on selling out.
Thank you.
Market that you're trying to break into? Latin America, Europe, Africa?
So, actually do have readers in South Africa, and who actually hired. And so he's just found my website. I put up this test because I was looking for translators. So I actually hire lots of folks on my website because I prefer to hire people who are more passionate about the brand. And so I hired this guy, and he done some translations for me. I introduced him to Goodsmart Company, and he done translations for Goodsmart while he was studying at university. And now he's graduated, and Goodsmart brought him over to Japan. So he's actually working in Japan. So this guy, South Africa. So, but to answer your question, I think because our resources are really limited, we need to choose what we need to do and which locations to go into. So we're doing lots of things in Asia. We definitely want to do more in the US. But gradually we want to go into Latin America, Europe, and so on and so on. So I hear the Japanese pop culture, I think it's starting to become a very hot topic in India and Dubai as well. So Meti, lots of Japanese companies are actually going over to events in India and Dubai as well. So definitely reach out to more places. So which just reminded me, I'm actually looking for 4 full-time members of staff. I'm going to cover your travel to Tokyo. I'm going to cover your visa as well. I'm looking for a marketing guy or girl, somebody who can do events in retail, a graphic designer, and what's the other one? There's a video guy, that's right, yeah. And so all the details are on my website. I'm not looking for a fire-breathing ninja, not at all. I am looking for a ninja.
So you breathe fire.
So just go to my website. It's collegejapan.jp, and it's one of the latest posts. Question for Jake. Jake.
Yes. Yep, in the hat.
Question. This is kind of with my
everything pretty much. What's there really about Lolly involved?
So your question. So it's harder. It's even harder for us, right? Because Lolly isn't even like entirely legal in the United States to begin with. I think that in Japan in particular, it's a very dangerous. I think it's a very dangerous thing to start passing laws for or against a particular form of art. That's what hentai is really, and lolly, hentai specifically. So I don't think the government should be telling you what you can or cannot fap to or read or anything like that. So as long as no one's getting hurt or anything like that, I think it's fine. But with that law specifically, I think it also outlawed like half of the manga in Japan, which is kind of silly. So I think that Danny can probably speak more to what's actually happening in Japan with that. But.
Yeah, so I think that lots of websites will pick up on. I think lots of websites they do stuff particularly for page views. So they like write about something to like sensationalization, which is why you don't see me write about it at all. So there was like an anime ban and always like
every few months there's articles.
So I would say that there's nothing to be concerned about. If I was to identify a real danger, then I would write about it. But as long as I don't write about it,
seeing one of Danny Drew's figures for sale was crazy. Seeing Raitan Figma and the Nendro, so that was awesome.
Just wondering, how many of you have been to Japan?
Did you like it?
Yeah!
Would you recommend it to your friends?
Yeah.
So yeah, Tokyo in particular, it's really easy to navigate around Tokyo without knowing Japanese. Almost every sign has a Japanese, it's written in Japanese and also has an English translation right next to it. So.
How many of you have plans to go to Japan within the next year? Just traveling. So I've got a section on my website. It's called Places to Visit in Japan. Lots of photos, lots of information. Just go to my website, Culture Japan JP, and just search for Places to Visit in Japan, and you should see it. Right, question for Jacob. Jacob.
Right here. Oh, actually, sorry.
Yeah, let's ask one of
Let's go right here.
So, I really appreciate the artwork that goes into Edogen.
Yes.
And I think that if I had Edogen when I was learning Japanese, I probably learned that much more quicker. But unfortunately I didn't. And there just like must be a way. There must be a way around these.
Yeah, I think so. You're talking about our panels and everything that we do. Into all of that culture from film unit. So I think Fate Stay Night is an excellent example of something that is both hentai and mainstream and gigantic. Because the visual novel is absolutely beautiful. It's like Harry. I describe it as Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings on crack, and twice as long. And it's a beautiful, beautiful story with Arrowgate mixed in, and it doesn't feel out of place or anything like that. So I think that's a really good example of something that can have adult content and also be a really rewarding mainstream experience. And that, of course, spawned a bunch of games and movies and anime and all that kind of stuff. So.
Right, anything else?
Let's get this guy right over here.
I got a question for both of you. Danny, are we ever going to see a Gundam model review? And Jacob, are we ever going to see another anime review?
You used to do them.
So, very briefly, my friends and I did an anime review show where we threw them up on YouTube. They got a ton of hits, and then video editing is hard. So I did all the video editing, and you've been doing video editing for a long time. It's a very time-consuming process. So hopefully one day we'll get a solid video editor for FAKKU and be able to restart the anime review show because it had a lot of potential, I think, and a lot of people were liking it.
Yeah. So Just about Gundam, I mean, I just stopped doing Gundam, not voluntarily, but it just became that I'm running this company now, and there's like so many issues which I need to attend to, whereby I don't really get the time to like, sit down and make Gundams. But I mean, I am making these dolls, and there's lots of robotics involved, and I do share lots of the knowledge that I gained from making these dolls online, so that folks who maybe they want to make their own dolls, they can learn from them.
So that reminds me actually. So it's funny that you mentioned that the booth thing with the inspiration, because I did a FAKKU Vietnam video where I was the horse and mask and I was inspired by your stormtrooper dance. So have you guys seen Danny's dance videos? Yeah. Are you still doing that?
So I wore armor. There's someone like raising his arm.
Doing that.
Look, okay, let's just take this question up here. I wore armor just a few weeks ago for some TV show in Japan, and it's been 2 years since I wore the armor. 2 years.
Might be time to dust it off.
Yeah, the thing is, what happened was the helmet is bright white, because it's like protective material. The boots are bright white, and the armor I didn't really notice until I saw the footage. The armor is like really yellow. So if you got like a yellow belly and like a white head and like white brushes, it's really bad. It's really embarrassing. So what I hear is that people who do stormtrooping, they actually, because it's just going to turn yellow anyway, they do the sand trooper thing. They just like drag it through earth and mud, and you can't notice the color anymore. So I think that's what needs to happen now. It needs to come to Tokyo. Sand dance trooper.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
And then I'll be able to do some of that. I just actually.
So we gotta end now. So.
That's right. So thank you.
Thank you. One more time. Where are you meeting up tonight?
So let's have a look. It's 10 o'clock. Just want to be at 7 o'clock. We're going to Kinokuniya.
一つ自分に嘘二つ胸が痛んでだから三つには気づかないふりした